own the left side of the car. I own the right side of the car.
But I owned the whole car first for years before you ever came in.
You don't.
Correct?
I owned RetroMC. We merged the servers. That's the thing. He didn't own the whole thing.
Then take the RetroMC world back.
It's impossible to do that. Player files are connected. It is impossible to split the communities. If it was possible, I would have done it ages ago when I actually got sick of Sweets as shit.
Then yeah, that's my bad. That's my bad. I thought they were two different world files.
You can't. Their essentials are mixed. Player data is mixed. If we split them apart, everyone's player data is going to get deleted. All things, and most of the chunks will get corrupted. Everything will be broken. And what's the point of doing that? The communities are mixed. People have built across multiple worlds. That would be destroying the community. I really want to finish, finalize this peacefully, but I can only do that if Sweets is willing.
Is BetaLands up right now or no? I know the modern server is, but is the 1.7?
Oh yeah, just him trying to steal 50% my ownership and thinking I'd stand by.
Modern server is not down.
Yeah, no, you can't join it. Try to join it. It's only the Bungie up.
Oh, shit.
I only kept that up so we kept our uptime rating. If Sweets is willing to fix this, I am. This is more than I want. I don't want this whole thing. I was meant to get like 6 assignments, school assignments done today. I couldn't. This whole drama, I do not enjoy this. And I was, and just so you know, like, I did not actually start a beta server for this drama. I started a server that I actually played on my server. I actually played. I had the biggest house. It was awesome. I did not start to get involved in this drama, and I'm starting to see. And I think you're stupid if you don't. But multiple servers have said that they've had this kind of thing, especially Percraft. Sweets has been real big dicks to them. So,
Pewcraft deserves it though. Like I'm like real shit now. Like I'm not just saying this, but yeah, Pewcraft deserves it. They stole donations from players and never gave them what they donated for. Like,
I've never heard of that, but okay.
Really?
But let's say you're right. It's still not your job to go onto other people's beta servers in grief and all that. Like,
oh no, it's not my job, but I still do it. Like, it's just fun to me. Like, you know, EventCraft from Voltra.
So how would you feel if I went on the BetaLands world, grief the entire thing, gave back to Sweets?
That's your
Wouldn't feel too good.
Go for it, dude.
Like, I'm not going to do that.
If that's what you're trying to do, then do it.
I'm not. If Sweets is willing to sell this person, like, normally I'm willing to. I really am. I would love nothing more than to go back, and as long as he doesn't do what actually caused this, such as ignoring me and doing things without my opinion, and yeah, and as soon as we get in a fight, he tries to take over the server, we'll be all G. But until then, I don't see how we can be.
Well, it was my bad for thinking that they were two different worlds, because that's what I thought. I don't know how whatever the fuck you're using for multi-worlds work, so that's my bad on my part. And I know you can't split the worlds.
We could split them, but everything else would be lost. It would only be the world. All chess data would be lost, everything.
Yeah. So that's not good. The only
thing I want to settle this peacefully. I did not come to this beta community, and as I said, if I wanted drama, I could have kicked up a massive stink the first day we merged when Sweets was forcing things. Like, he would do things without my permission. He would add staff without my permission. He would demote my staff without my permission, or even discussing it to me. But I've been really tolerant of that.
The only two things that can really be done right now is releasing the files to the public and
also another possible thing that we're looking at is possibly if Jill wants to take over, because a lot of people respect Jill and wanted him to take over before.
But Jill doesn't have the money or the time to run a server. That's the thing. Unless Jillman Swedes goes 50-50.
I'll pay for the server. He can run it though. He can own it. I don't care if I have access. I'll pay him for it though. I don't expect a rank. I won't even have access. He never his name. I'll just PayPal him $50 a month for the server and whatever rules.
That's up to everyone else, because like, hang on, because I mean, like, if Jim wants to run, like Jim's, like, I respect him and everything, and if he wants to run it, then that's all his. But the world would need to be reset, because that world, everything on that world is pre-configured.
To be honest, I reckon Jim's probably done more work on that server than Sweets has.
No, Jim hasn't been there that long.
Because from what I've heard, Sweets has caused a lot more issues than you. And I want to sort this out. Just tell Sweets I'm willing to talk when he is. But if he's just going to send swear words and block me and that, I do not care. And I'm not going to hand over files until we have 50-50. And tell him he goes this when he did it.
Okay.
And I was actually going to retire from the server scene. I was going to retire within a year. I was going to retire at the end of this year personally from the server. So we stayed. So yeah, but because I'm going to finals next year. So yeah, this is just not a fun situation at the moment, and I don't like it. And this was mainly escalated by the fact that Sweets think you could take over the server. And seriously, what would you do in my position? You were an owner on a server. You get into an argument with him. He blocks you from staff channels, blocks you from it. So you take it to a general channel, and then he denies a ton of stuff. A few players get involved, so he pastes chat logs because he says you're lying, and then you get banned. And then what are you going to do if you get banned from a server that you technically own 50% of? You're going to do the same thing as me. You're going to lock down the files. You're not going to just hand them over.
But here's the difference: is that Swedes owned it like a year before you ever did. So like that's
well, I owned RetroMC for probably 14 months before, and then before that, I was an admin on it.
But BetaLands is so much bigger. Like, that's the thing.
Not that much.
Look, I'm just saying, I've never heard, like, I'm not saying this to be a dick either. I've never heard your server before the merge. I never heard of it. And I've griefed and searched for a lot of beta servers. So.
Well, considering we're the second on Google Site Index, actually, I think we're the first now. I think we've overtaken BetaLands now anyway. Pretty sure if you search up Minecraft beta, RetroLands comes up first.
So I don't know how exactly big you were, but you couldn't have been that big. Now.
Well, mind you, we were a whitelist server. We were a whitelist server until 4 months before merge. We were a whitelisted community.
That's probably why I didn't find you then.
And the reason why we actually went whitelist is because there were so many issues. But and we only went public for 4 months before. And though, yeah, we used to hit peaks of up to 12 players. That was our peak. I know BetaLands was a bit bigger. But still, that was a big move. I'm willing to sort this out if Sweets is.
Right.
He started it. And I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing is a horrible thing to do. I know that.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go make some food.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing is horrible. But what Sweets is doing is also horrible.
Well, yeah, and that's my beef for thinking you could just split the world, and I know you can't now. So honestly, y'all basically either have to go 50-50 again, or someone else. But the thing is Swedes will always be part of it. I'm just saying this now. I'm not saying this has to happen, but Swedes will have, if it's dealing with both of y'all's worlds, Swedes will still have to have a role in the server. Whether that be a partial owner, or if him and Jim own it, whatever. But he will always have to have a role, because that's you gotta respect that's his world. Part of that is still his. I guess half of it.
Yeah, I know that. But also, part of that server was mine, and he tried to steal it away from me. I was just quicker. It turned out that I managed to, by about 40 seconds, get onto the dedicated server faster and change the password.
But over half of it's Sweets.
Yeah, I know. And by that, I mean, I still think it's mine because I still think it was 50-50 after merge because they're basically the same map now. I personally think it's 50-50 the entire server. And mind you, I've been basically just backsynced. I've done barely anything aside from, I've been mostly backsynced. And the reason for that, I won't even make decisions. I won't even add plugins without telling Sweets, because the one time I added a plugin, Sweets went autistic rage without me asking him. I added what was it? I added some lag entity mod to beta, and he got autistic rage at me. And then he goes and adds like a whole ton of shit without me. And a YouTube announcement that announced how many subscribers he has every 2 minutes. Why do we need that?
Wait, what are you talking about?
Oh, he added a plugin for a while that announced his subscriber count every 2 minutes.
But I've seen the one where it says go subscribe to the owner.
No. He released a plugin that said how many subscribers he got every 2 minutes.
I don't know.
And that was the only thing. And I actually removed that because a ton of players were complaining, and I removed it. And he got really mad at me then. But I'm willing to sort this out. So I don't care. Either time I put in, I am entitled to 50% of the server.
Well, 50% of the world, yes.
Well, it's impossible to split them apart at this point. They're one.
But what I'm saying is those plugins, those custom plugins, those are Swedes.
We have no more custom plugins. We removed them all because they're all causing issues. We do not have a single custom plugin anymore running.
Yo, you need to bring back the dupe fix then. Because without the dupe fix, anyone can make creative blocks.
No. We got one that RetroMC used to run because that was causing a ton of errors. So we got a new one.
I'm just saying.
Which was used on the old RetroMC server.
I can still dupe on the beta server. That's all I'm saying. And if I can do it, I know anyone else can.
Oh no, that's all been fixed. I don't even think that custom plugin was made by him. I'm pretty sure that was made by Azaltcraft.
It was made by Foxy.
Wait, is this the custom jar?
It's a custom. I don't know the details. I haven't seen any.
Because I know Azaltcraft did make a custom jar to fix a ton of exploits.
Oh.
And I know we are running it.
I know Foxy, wherever, like, I don't know if she's still part of BetaLands, but Foxy, she made 2 or 3 custom plugins for Swedes, but actually Zalja, the guy who makes NSC, the New Frontier crap, he made the dupe fix for servers, for bucket servers.
So it wasn't even Sweets.
No, it's never Swedes, of course not.
Like, I know the plugins because there was a TeleSafe and there was another one, but we removed them all, so we're not even running them. Though I'm willing to sort this out. I'm so willing to sort this out. If Sweets is willing to talk socially, not tonight though, because it is like 11:30 at night.
Yeah. I forget you're like Aussie Tom.
I'm willing to sort this out. I just don't want any big issues caused.
All right, well, I'm gonna go make food, and like I hope there's nothing bad between us. Cause like again, I don't think what you're doing. Like again, I think like you can't split the world. So I get your hands are tied, and I get the position you're in, and I know there's nothing that like y'all can really do to split it again, because the world's basically together now. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, I just hope there's nothing bad between us.
No, there isn't. I understand,
like,
Sweets.
Me personally, I don't think you're narcissistic, but I do think like sometimes I do get the vibe that I mean this in like the most like I guess like not nicest way to put it simply, but I do feel like sometimes you think your way is the only way, which I understand because I'm like that too. But that's just what I think.
Well, the only time I've actually ever been done that, I've let Sweets basically fully choose everything.
Yeah.
But
the only time but I've noticed it whenever you talk to Swedes, and I guess I can get that because Swedes is kind of sweet. I'm not like Swedes is a cunt. Like that's just the truth. Like
I know the only time I've ever really gotten mad at Sweets was because you know how we wanted to like cracked players on, and that caused a ton of inventory issues. That was the only time I've ever gotten mad at him. and gotten pissed. When I mean pissed, I mean the server wasn't meant to launch for 2 weeks. And so what happened is I went away for 2 days with the family. And I come back and one's launched, and Sweets is blaming me for all these inventory issues. I'm like, what? The server hasn't even launched. I log on and the server's public. So you know, just think of that. Like, I'm an owner on a server, and we've been working on the server, and then he decides to release it when I'm away, even though me and Jilm said we wanted 2 more weeks. So yeah, no, that didn't. I didn't let that stop me, but yeah.
I understand that. Don't worry, dude. But
Well,
yeah, I'm looking at food.
So this isn't about the past. This is about what's currently happening.
Yeah.
And so Sweets tried to screw me out of 50% ownership, tried to download the world files. He failed. I got the world files first.
I have no more argument for the WAF files because I thought you could split them, but you can't without destroying everyone's player data.
You could keep the world, though you could not keep the chests together.
Yeah, I get that. Like,
and by that I mean you could do it if you do it manually, but that would take over 100 years to do.
Yeah. Well.
And I want to sort this out peacefully. I really do. So tell Sweets if he's willing to sit down and talk about it. Tell him if he's willing to like negotiate it. I am. Probably what the best thing is to do is get a neutral party in at the moment, though. Yeah, like, and yeah. So I'm not meaning to be rude here. Though in the last 2 months, the main person working on the server, aside from adding a YouTube notifier that was absolutely useless, has been me.
I don't see behind the scenes, so I can't say anything about it.
I've done everything for the last 2 months backside, aside from I think Sweets might have done some Bycraft stuff, and he converted stuff over from Group Manager to PEX, but that's all he did. Yeah, I know I'm being a horrible person here, but
Honestly,
you kind of have to. You have to admit, Sweets is
since-
also being a horrible person.
At this point, though, since you can't split the world or anything, like
Sweets hasn't told me anything. I've just been like,
Oh, I'll tell you my side of the story. Maybe a little bit.
I'm
Yeah, go ahead.
So
I'm a pretty open dude. I don't really hold.
You talk to Sweets as well, but basically what happened is I was talking to Sweets and we got into an argument, and then he pulled my owner on the Discord server, which I'm an owner, 50% owner, and then he ended up saying I wasn't an owner because he owned BetaLands and he grew the community for years. And I'm like, I grew my community for years. We're in merged 50-50. And then so Sweets took my thing and then banned me from the Discord server. And then after banning me from the Discord server, I quickly changed all our passwords on the dedicated machines after banning me. And currently Sweets has lost all control of the servers.
Why would you do that? Like,
because he tried to kick me out of ownership.
Were you afraid he was going to take the machines over instead?
he tried to.
No, he kicked me out of Discord, right? So he kicked me out of Discord, saying I wasn't an owner. So he kicked me out of Discord, while kicking me out, demanding the little bit of profit we made this month, which was, I think, $10. He demanded the little bit of profit we made this month, because apparently it was his, while kicking me out, which, by the way, I gave to him because I'm not a horrible person. And yeah. And he demanded the money and then banned me from the server. And then shortly after, so I changed the passwords once he banned me. Shortly after, he was like, give me the fucking passwords, you piece of shit, or whatever. And we're just trying to figure out what's going on here.
Yeah, and mind you,
How old are how old Sweets?
He's 16.
Yeah, that's right. How old are you? I don't know if you.
I'm 16.
Oh, you sound older than 16. I'm 18. Do you know who I am?
I've talked to you once before.
Probably don't remember. Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't really care who you guys sided with. It's just that I did not start this, and I did not want this to start. But the minute Sweets pulled my ownership and said I was no longer an owner, of course I was going to retaliate.
Well, I'm not here to try to see who's right or wrong, because I mean, this seems like a really immature shit. like thing that
I know,
happened.
and I'm trying to sort it out. I'm trying to sort it out with Sweets, but he's refusing. He so far we're like, can we sort this out? Go back to 50 ownership, and he's refused. He said he never wants to be like an owner on a server where I'm also owner.
And you can't.
I recommended to him when he was suggesting to me that he would want to merge with you guys to join your communities together. I was completely against it because I knew that both of your communities were going to be completely different.
Sweets can't work with anyone. That is a fact.
Oh, but I mean, I wasn't questioning if he could work with anybody, but it seems if it's not working. If it's not working, then I reckon it should just be separate.
And I'm like, it's basically impossible to separate the servers now. The thing is, and I know what I'm doing is a horrible move.
Were you two competitors at all?
Servers, no, not really. We're basically a whitelist server. Though we went public for 4 months. Yeah. So we're going to go public, and what was originally going to happen was we're going to go public for 12 months, and then we're going to whitelist everyone who ever joined, and then go back because griefing's a big problem in beta, and just do open areas where people join, people who stay. That was our idea. But yeah, we opened up, and then Sweets wanted to merge. You can read the chat log if you do not believe me. So originally, what was going to happen is Sweets was going to close down BetaLands, and then I suggested a merge instead. There's chat logs. There's chat logs with Sweets private chat. It's a channel on the server, which shows us where we're discussing. And yeah, and so what happened is, what actually happened is, in that discussion, so yeah, I posted private messages of like things that he like lied about, and yeah. It just got bad, and I'm willing to resolve it. I'm willing to go back to 50-50 ownership, but he's refusing, so I don't know what's happening. And I know what I'm doing. I know.
What was this initial argument sparked by, though?
I wanted 3 weeks. I wanted 3 weeks to make the new mod server to revamp it, and then he said he could do it in 3 days. The chat log is posted somewhere. I wanted 3 weeks, and then he said I was in. Then he ended up saying I was incompetent in this other stuff. And it's like, I can make it in 3 days. It's not that hard. And it's like, and he's like, it's like, you probably don't have any experience with mod. And I'm like, well, I've owned 3 mod servers before. One of them I handed over to someone else, and it's still running. I was a developer on the Cauldron Shotbow network team for a while. And he ended up replying, "You're a narcissist. You always have to be correct. You make up these lies about yourself to feel the best." And then he blocked me. About 6 days later, I tried to talk to him again, and I'm like, how long is this going to last? Because it's getting ridiculous. It's hard to run a server. So yeah, and so that happened. Yeah. So.
All right.
Wait, what was I saying? I already forgot. Sorry.
All right. Well, as I said, Sweets hasn't talked to me at all. I sort of just found out about this sort of shit like this afternoon when when you gave me that link. Wait, no, give me a link.
Oh, and the fact that Sweets started banning people who agreed with me and took I think Chug is banned now too. I don't know if Chug. Wait, did Chug get banned?
No,
he's online.
No. He banned a few people for siding with me.
Hey, dude, I'm just saying nobody should have been banned ages. That's all I'm saying about it. I don't think anyone else should have been banned.
Okay, no one should be banned unless they've done anything wrong or broken any rules.
No. Emax is she disrespect like before she was staff, she would disrespect staff, and like she disrespected Chugga, which was admin. Then then Chugga like temp muted or temp banned her, I don't remember, and it was like the 3rd or 4th time. And
disrespecting people shouldn't even be a thing. It's just freedom of speech. Like, how sensitive do you guys have to be to ban someone for being?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Though also, what would happen?
Someone like now the drug thing, complete bullshit. Because like
the drug thing was.
People in beta are I would think would be mature enough to talk about drugs, but like whenever you tell like especially the only time I experienced it is like when she's helper and she talks to like higher staff like they're dirt, like that's when she should have been banned, but that's just my opinion.
Well, how I'd actually call it is a black and white version of the world. It's either right or it's wrong. Yeah, well, that's what I would actually say. But yeah, right. I will admit she's been annoying, but I wasn't the one that promoted her. Sweets was.
Have you ever joined one of my servers before?
No.
Did you even know you probably. I'm not sure if you know if I run
No.
servers before or not. That's
No.
why me and Sweets know each other
No.
so well. It's because he used to play on my servers before he ran his. Basically, I
What
used
server
to have
did you own?
I called it Discraft. I ran the one that he liked the most was a beta. I really like beta. It was a beta 1.7 server. It was free build, and everyone who joined, recommended them to download a hack client. And also in my rules, it said that swearing was mandatory and all this shit. I just set the most insensitive, just freedom-inducing rules possible, right? So that I didn't have to worry about anything. And anyone who did grief, I mean, it just had fucking Hawkeye. I could just undo it and ban them. And if they kept doing it again, then I could just undo it and ban them. It was a free build server. No one cared about griefing. Anyway, so I see the benefits of just being chill as fuck. Anyway, I don't know. I only know your side of the story so far, but from what I can see, from what I already know about Sweets, because it's obvious me and him have been friends for a while. We've done some shit together, like fucking griefing. Anyway, yeah, yeah. Seems like you both feel like you want to be in charge.
Well, I don't want to be in charge. I will settle for 50 ownership, but he's refusing.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go make food. I'll be back.
It's just making it very difficult.
I'm in Australia right now, by the way, so it's 11 p.m. Going to bed soon.
Me too. No,
Oh,
I'm
cool.
in Australia too.
All right, I'm in New South Wales.
I'm in Queensland. I'm in Toowoomba. Where are you?
I want to live in Queensland.
Please don't tell me you're a
Wales.
Coffees.
Parramatta.
If you're in Coff Saba, I swear to God.
Not Parramatta.
Okay, cool. Oh, awesome. Yeah. I'm going to try and figure it out peacefully, though. You know, like,
I reckon
for
the
me,
best way would be for all three of us to get in a call, so I can just hear both sides of the stories at once.
Oh,
And
Sweets has already gone.
I'm not going. What?
Sweets has already gone to bed. Though so far he's refused.
Not right now. Fuck, I'm too tired to do that shit right now. But like whenever.
Yeah. I'm willing to do that.
Yeah, I'm willing to like help out because I really love the beta community.
Though so far he's refused. So far he's refused to do 50/50 ownership.
I sent him a message even though he's offline. I just told him to, hey, call me later and fill me in on what's happening. That's all I told him. I love
how he said, like, I stole the files, but he didn't mention in his announcement that he took my owner away and took away my privileges to talk in almost every text chat.
Yeah, but listen, taking the files away is a much bigger offense than taking his
I know.
roles away in a Discord.
No. What happened is I had the server open one window because I was actually working on it at the time. Though what happened is we got into an argument and he tried to access it, but he couldn't because I was in it. So what I think he's doing is he's going to quickly download the files. Though he failed. So basically he took my owner away. He said I wasn't an owner on the server, even though I am an owner. And then went on a mass tangent about how he built the server and it was all his. And I understand that. And I know what I'm doing is horrible. I have the BetaLands world. But also do remember that he was taking away my owner and he tried to steal the server out from under me. So of course I was going to retaliate. And from what I've heard about Sweets before, like if it was a normal individual that like I never met, I probably wouldn't have gone straight there. Though the minute he pulled my rank is when I locked down the server. Because I've heard stories about Sweets before.
What stories?
I've
known him since he started running servers.
A lot of beef with Percraft. I've heard him screwing over Nostalgia Project. I don't know the full story there.
Oh, of course. Like he likes to fuck with his competitors. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I was part of it. But that's competitors. As far as I know, he's never done anything. He's never done anything to sort of tarnish the beta community. It's just friendly. Like seems to be just friendly competitiveness.
You mean going on Percraft and griefing their entire spawn?
Yeah, it's just friendly to me.
Like,
If you make a
yeah,
beta
alright.
server, you gotta deal with the fact that people are gonna grief
Yeah.
shit. It's
Yeah,
it's
no.
like part of the charm of beta. And if
Yeah.
the reason I got into griefing in beta, the reason I like it, the reason I particularly like Foodcraft, is because the admins get so upset. They get so fucking mad, and they get really angry at me.
Yeah. And I'm willing to sort this out if Sweets is. But Sweets is at the moment refusing. At the moment, he's saying he's just demanding world files. And I'm not going to give him the files because that means he's 100% owner and he has my world. He has everything that I've worked on, and he hasn't worked on. And And originally he was meant to be resigning, and I was meant to be taking over.
So you just don't trust him, right? You don't trust him enough to give him back the files.
No, because I know, and I'm still really scared about doing 50-50 ownership, because the minute I do 50-50 ownership with him, I'll try it. What I think will happen is he'll ask for access to the dedicated server, and he'll just take the files and whoop ban me.
Yeah, you guys can't do this unless you trust each other.
I know, and at the moment, him pulling my, and I mean, like, I can understand, like, what really pissed me off is when he was trying to, because what was happening is I was doing voice chat and thing, and he's getting mad at me, and I pasted chat logs, and he's like, "Oh, you can't leak DMs. That's against the rules." And I'm like, "Well, it doesn't matter if it's against the rules. I'm an owner."
Also, leaking DMs is like a fucking horrible thing to do to anyone in general.
Oh no, it wasn't bad DMs. It wasn't anything personal. It was where he was getting really pissed at me for the thing, for modern. I know it's a horrible thing to do, but remember, this was just after he pulled my owner role.
Listen, for you to go, if you really want 50-50 things, right, you need him to be able to trust you as well. And doing stuff like this is probably lowered his trust for you as like as
And it's
as
lowered mine
bad
too,
as it
because
got.
he was trying to steal the server from me. He
How do you
tried
know
to
you're
log
trying
into
to?
this because he tried to log into the server. As the argument started, he tried to log into the server, and he took my owner role. He took my owner role. As soon as he did that, he tried to log into the server. So if you log into the server, then someone else can't. Yeah. And so I did not start this. Sweet started it when he pulled my pulled my owner, and then said apparently I wasn't an owner.
Don't say like he started it. That's such an immature thing to do. Don't say that. Come on.
No, but he did. He pulled my rank. But
I know, but
and I'm willing to sort it out. I'm willing to go back. I'm willing to go back to 50-50. He won't be though. But if he surprises me, I'm more than happy to. But I know if we do go back to 50-50, I'm willing to try it. Though. I know he is going to probably try and move the server and take it fully over. I know he's going to try and annex Canada.
alright, yeah, whatever. So, alright, I'm gonna need to hear his side of the story too, and then I'll want to talk to both of you at the same time and try to help sort this out.
Sweet,
because
I
was going to be
the last 2 weeks.
I hope he fucking talks.
That's how this started. Is because Sweets blocked me, and he wouldn't talk. And whenever I wanted to discuss anything server, he got really mad at me, and I said I don't want to work with someone who.
That happened for 2 weeks.
No, it actually happened. It happened about just over a week ago, and 4 days later, said, "How long is this going to continue blocking me? This is stupid." Yeah, it was actually probably no, it was 5 days it happened, and after that, I gave it 4 more days, and I said, "Dude, I can not work with someone who's this." So this is a total of about 9 days. Yeah. I understand that, but yeah. Right, it's kind of dicky thing for him to do. He was trying to steal the server from me.
The way I see it is just both of you guys are doing really stupid shit.
Well, he pulled my owner wrong. I know. It's and I know what I'm doing is also horrible.
It seems like to me, it's confusing whether you guys care about the community or just care about who's in charge.
I
Because
don't.
if you cared about the community, then you'd put it above like who's in charge. You'd just apologize for everything, and you'd be absolutely like as friendly as
You
possible.
mean well, the thing is that if I do that, I'll hand the world back over to Sweets. Sweets will ban me from his server, ban me from his Discord, and
Alright,
I'll
and
never
then
be able to
he's-
touch
and
the
then-
community that I helped make.
And then he would be in the wrong, and that would show that you were like the more mature person, and then you'd be able to sort out.
And he's
that,
already
but-
tried to do that. He's already tried to steal the server
Okay,
from
but
me.
listen, you haven't shown any sort of maturity by, fucking putting like the DMs public, and also, well, I mean,
The only
it's
DMs I
safe to
put
say that
public
it was like you were just being safe by.
no, because
changing
he's because what happened is he said I started the fight about something stupid, and he said I was demanding something, I don't remember, and so I posted DMs because he was lying about how it actually started. How else am I meant to prove myself? If he's just gonna lie, of course I'm gonna post proof.
I don't even want to read the DMs because it's just so private.
No, those aren't really private. There, those are when we're first discussing the merge.
I don't want to read I don't want to read him talking to you. It's just not how these things should be sorted out.
Well, too bad.
I'm just going to
And
choose
I'm willing
not
to.
to.
I'm willing to.
I want him.
I'm willing
I
to
want
sort
him
this
and
out.
you to be in the same call with me.
I'm more than happy to do it. He won't. He won't be willing to talk. Although, yeah, it's just a really hard thing to work out. I'm trying to figure it out. If he starts replying back and we can do this civilly and go back to 50-50, I'm more than happy to try it. But otherwise, no.
For me,
Otherwise, the
want
other
the
options.
I want the health. I want the
the other
the
options. I
vibrancy
would
of the community to be above everything. So even if that means if you guys should if it's best to split up, then if it means the community will be fine or the community will be happy.
Well, if we split up, who's
that's the
going to
best
end up
thing
with a
to
server? That's the thing.
split it back to 2 servers.
That's impossible to do
Why?
because
Have
the
you joined the
worlds have
same
totally
map?
been merged.
Oh shit. Oh.
So that's basically impossible to do.
Well, it's not impossible to copy the world.
It would take an extremely long period of time. All chests would be reset.
Okay, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible to copy paste the file so that you both have separate versions of it.
You know how long that would actually take? That would be a
Doesn't matter
lot
how
of
long
man
it
hours.
takes.
That would be over 100 man hours probably. And you'd have to move worlds as players requested. Move things. And how's that meant to work out? Oh, hey, Sweets. Oh, someone built on here. Or, hey, Reese. Someone built on your world. Can I copy it over quickly?
No, why
How's
would
that
they
gonna
want to do that? Why wouldn't they just go play on the other server if they care about the build?
Because multiple players have built across both worlds.
How long has the world been joined?
Just a little bit over 3 months.
Oh, that's quite a while.
Yeah, it's just I'm trying to figure this. I want to figure this out peacefully. Otherwise, we are actually going to let the community decide. Otherwise, we are. Sweets isn't really
Shouldn't let the community decide. Shouldn't let the community decide.
Shouldn't.
Because the community is going to conflict. The community is going to segregate if you get them to decide, and it'll just tear everything apart. You guys are the leaders of this stuff. You guys need to sort this out and lead the community.
Yeah, and he's refusing to. He's blocked me.
All right.
And he blocked my alt account.
That's fine. That's fine enough. He might be upset. Okay, but he shouldn't have anything against
And that's why
me.
I'm giving it
So
3 days. That's why I'm giving it 3 days for things to calm down. And if not, then I'm going to do a vote on this Discord server. What happens? And there will be probably
don't do that.
3 options. There'll be give files back to Sweets, and there'll probably be
Don't do
delete
a vote.
server.
To me, if you
and
try
find
to
new
try to give a vote, that means you're trying to give a possibility that everything will be put against him. If you really want things to sort out, then you want to give him the best chance possible to come and to fucking join back with you. Don't give it a vote to say, okay, should we try to get back with Sweets, or should we just fucking
No. That's after. If he refuses to actually talk.
Don't worry if he refuses to talk or not, because that just shows that he's really upset about what's happening. Okay, or he might have also other different reasons why he's really quiet. Maybe he's really fucking busy or something, or who knows. Okay, if he comes on and we talk and he actively says that he doesn't want to be part of this anymore, or he actively says that he doesn't like agree with this shit or anything like that, that's different.
But how's that going to work out? That's
If he's immature to the point where he's not willing to let everything slide and forgive everything, okay, then it's fine to fucking.
I'm willing to
get rid of
try
it.
that. Though it's gonna, if he does join, then it's gonna come to one point. Who's gonna control the server? That is gonna happen.
No,
And I personally don't care if I do it. If Julm control,
No.
yeah, but he's gonna refuse to do that. He's already refused to do that.
Yeah, I'm disappointed to hear that about him.
We've already
Because
contacted him.
it was his idea to join you guys.
No, it was my idea.
both
He was
of you
going to
guys.
close down BetaLands, and I said we will merge the servers or keep merge the
Well,
maps.
I tried to convince him not to, and then he went against it. So to hear that he's like trying to take over the server, I don't know. That's disappointing for me to hear.
So just think,
it also seems to me that he should be fine with joining you. He even wanted me to be a third server with it, but I just didn't have the time to start up another server. He wanted me to he thought it was going to be a good idea for me to do a faction server.
I want to sort this out. It's just he's at the moment he's refusing, and anything less than 50-50 ownership, I'm going to refuse to do. And by that I mean, and what the other options are is find a new host. So one option is like Julm, if Julm wants to take over hosting, or finding someone else who wants to take over, someone who's neutral.
Yeah, it's extremely volatile to have the ability to take over the files whenever, because that means if there's any conflict.
That's the thing, is we both had equal access to the server. If he got in just before me, he could have done the exact same thing. I was luckily already
I would offer
server.
to do it, but I just wouldn't have the time to keep up.
Like, I could, yeah. So what's going to happen is I reckon I would give him the files, right? And he would download them, delete them all, and go move the server and steal it. And then that's just going to cause the exact same thing. And from what I've heard about Sweets, that's what I expect him to do. So we'd need a third party to actually manage the files.
Yeah, but the way that things are set up, like he has the same trust issues with you. It's really dangerous that either one of you can just take over whenever. There should be.
Well, actually, originally we couldn't. Julm was actually in charge originally.
Originally, yeah, and that was probably more stable, right?
Julm was though. What happened? What happened is when we merged, we had a fair few disagreements. Most of the time, I'd let it go his way, but Julm decided to Julm was basically the mediator between us, but Julm left, and yeah. Though just so you know, Julm actually wanted the same thing as I did. Julm wanted to wait on the server, so this wasn't only me. This was Julm as me. No, I want this to resolve. I did not join the mediator community. Though all I can tell you is if the server if we don't go back to 50-50, and we find a new owner, I'm not going to be the owner. I'm done with this shit.
I reckon you guys need a third. You need someone who's neutral to have access to the server files. Someone like me. I don't really want to take the responsibility of that because I'm a busy person. But I mean, I could if I really like. It depends how easy it is, I guess, because I stay out of all this shit. I stay out of people's business. I don't really pick and choose sides. I just see everything logically. So if either one of you wanted to make changes or something, or if you guys
I'd like to think
you'd have to pass it by me first before I'd make the changes. Hypothetically, if I was the person in charge.
No, yeah, that's also really difficult too, though. When doing small changes, permissions.
Yeah, well,
it'd be very difficult.
Like
so it'd be, but
I mean, if it's someone like me with lots of experience with servers, it should be pretty straightforward. You just tell them, hey, can you make a permission for this group? Sure, just go in and fucking do it.
Right, it's just I've not signed up for this. Though if he tried to he tried to screw me out of ownership and saying I'm not owner, And he can't do that. I'm an owner. Another owner cannot tell me that I am not owner. Oh yeah. That's like me walking up to one of my fellow employees at work and be like, "Yo, you no longer work here." I got no power to do that.
No, it's more like both of you guys are trying to be a CEO.
And at the moment, he's mainly in charge. I'm not gonna lie. I did all the server side stuff, though. He basically made all the choices, and I disagreed with a lot
Like,
of them.
okay,
Along.
in relation to a Minecraft server, the CEO, right, is the owner or the person who has access to the files, all right? Because
Yeah,
no
we
one,
both did.
even like admins or fucking owner assistants or anything like that, they don't have access to the files. The problem here is that both of you guys are pretty much the CEO. Like a company can only have one CEO because you can't have two people making decisions. Like, or you can't have two people owning a company and ordering around the managers.
I don't.
Because
Well, how are
who
we
at the
gonna
end of
fix
the
that?
day who at the end of the day owns the company? Who at the end of the day owns all of the profits and the property? You
Oh, well,
guys
not the
are
deal
meant
with
to try
50.
to be business partners. That's what you guys need to try to do. And
Uh,
for that to happen, you guys need to sacrifice for the greater good some of each other's power, so that if there's any
Oh,
disagreements,
if someone's
shit
able
like
to
this
do
doesn't
that,
happen.
someone's able to do that, they don't have to be neutral. We both have to trust them. The thing is that, like, I personally would not feel comfortable giving unless Sweets gave me a reason to trust him. I would not feel comfortable giving Sweets a dedicated server because I've heard Sweets' history before with multiple people and how he acts, and I reckon he would download those files, go set up a new host, and boom, be gone.
I understand if you don't trust me, since I've known Sweets.
So to be honest,
I've known him like way longer than I've known you, of course. So like you don't even know if he's told me to come and talk to you. You don't know
no.
anything, right? Yeah, it's hard to trust me. I don't expect you to trust me. That's why I'm not saying that I should be the fucking mutual person. It's gonna be really fucking hard to find a mutual person.
Probably
Really hard.
Jilm's the only person. Jilm is the only person with the knowledge and skill I trust.
How old is he? It's an important thing.
I
How
don't
old
know,
he is.
20, I don't know.
Well, yeah, that seems pretty reasonable. Because the older someone is, the more logically they think. So
No, I like to think I think logically most of the time, but he stole my. He tried to steal my share of the server, and like to be honest, like it was more of the fact that he said I was not an owner, and then so he said I was an owner, pulled my owner rank, tried to access the server to download it, and then had the nerve to ask me, with swear words, to give him access to the server. Of course I'm not. You just pulled my owner rank.
All right, listen. It seems that he feels like he wants to defend the amount of effort and time and passion that is put into the
Yeah, and
community.
I've
Because
put in more.
it seems, at
And
least it seems to me that, well, I think we're gonna say that you've put in more.
Oh, for the last 3 months I have. His access to the server console.
Yeah, for the last 3 months, but he's been doing this since 2015.
Yeah, and I have too. I've owned RetroLands. I started on it in 2014. It wasn't originally owned by me. I was still an admin, though I was in charge of all the files and running it. Then what happened is the owner's girlfriend, who paid for the server, his girlfriend passed away in a car crash, so the server ended up shutting down. He stopped paying for it, and then I reopened it as an owner. And then for about over a year, we stayed whitelisted with people previously from there. And then we decided to go public at the beginning of this year. And then
Do you run a
Sweets asked
YouTube channel?
what?
Do you run a YouTube channel?
We have just one for our trailers.
Can you show me?
Yeah, it's just a hard thing to do. I got like the worst headache at the moment.
I
like,
want to see the
I'll-
YouTube channel.
just search up a trailer. It only has like 3 videos on them. I think 2 of them are unlisted. There's a guide on how to install beta, and there's another one.
There's one made by him.
Another one. We moved all our videos over to his channel though.
So where's your original server? I mean, your original channel. Sorry.
I'll go into announcements, and if you see there, there's a skin fix. Video on how to install skin fix.
Okay.
And you guys' channel, I think it only has 1 video that isn't unlisted. And we had another trailer too. Oh my god, that trailer's old. That nostalgia.
All right. I just want you to compare this to his YouTube channel.
Yeah, his is a lot more
And why do you think that is?
because he actively advertises and makes videos on it.
Yeah. Why haven't you done that?
Because I'm not into making YouTube videos. I rather do forum posts, and if you actually have a look, our forum posts rate higher than BetaLands.
Where do you post your forums?
Minecraft forums, we had a Planet Minecraft one. Though we got all our Planet Minecraft ones forced removed because we were cracked servers. Our Minecraft forums, we are actually higher. Unless we actually might, did we take down our forum? I don't know if it still exists. We might have actually taken it down when we merged with BetaLands, I'm not sure.
I had my server advertised on Planet MC as well.
Yeah,
didn't take
they
it
went
down.
around, they got really mad at a ton of beta servers. Yeah, like and for we run a program on our server to see which IP people are connecting from, and most people who connect to the server, I will admit it's 53% BetaLands. So there's 3% more, but
I don't want to give my opinions, so I'm not going to.
Oh, I'm gonna go to sleep now. I'm tired as hell.
Yeah, right. But just remember that I want you to. I want Sweets to get on.